Now, this isn't what you think, but fast bowlers are beginning to make some noise about exactly this. The bowler who started it all is the one who's made a strong comeback in the ICC Champions Trophy for India. Mohammad Shami seems to believe that it is time to start allowing bowlers to use their saliva on the cricket ball to get some shine on it. So let's start at the beginning. Why is this done? Now, sweat or saliva is applied in one side of the ball on one side of the seam. What it does is makes the ball heavier. It brings more shine to that side. Basically, one side of the ball is still rough thanks to all the hitting and the scratching that has naturally generated over the course of the game. And the side that has the saliva is not just shinier, it is smoother. So that means air travels faster. So as it's smooth, so there's little to no resistance. So this gives birth to movement, such as the reverse swing, an art that some of the legends of the game were known to have, including, of course, our man, Mohammad Shami.
We're trying to reverse, but you're not getting the use of saliva into the game. We're constantly appealing to allow the use of saliva, and it will be interesting with the reverse swing.
And there are more voices chiming in now. Former test greats and players who used it to their advantage. New Zealand's Southee and South Africa's Vernon Philander have backed Mohammad Shami's plea. Southee feels the bowlers need to have some advantage in a game that is already heavily stacked against them.
We see the game going the way it's going and seeing sides score 362, and more often than not over 300 in this format. I think there needs to be something in the bowler's favor, and whether that's a little bit of saliva, then yeah, I don't see why they couldn't afford to get that back in.
Now, using saliva has been banned for some years now. When did that happen exactly? Right after sport itself came to a grinding halt, a year after COVID struck and cricket, along with other sporting disciplines, were just getting back on their feet. Every sporting authority had to make changes and certain tweaks on the field of play to ensure that there would be less chances of the virus spreading in any possible way. Example, in cricket, from the use of the saliva on the cricket ball by the fielding team. So in the middle of the second wave of COVID, September 20, 2022, ICC introduced an amendment making it a rule that stated that hereon, bowlers or any member of the fielding team would not be allowed to use saliva on the cricket ball. And the Pacers' plea is simple. Cricket, especially ODI cricket, 50 overs, is a huge span that needs to have rules that can make the contest between bat and ball that much more balanced and exciting. During the ICC Champions Trophy semi-final between South Africa and New Zealand, a 350-plus total was breached. And former South Africa pacer Vernon Philander feels that had the saliva rule come in place, South Africa might have got back into the game.
If we look at the state of that ball, I mean, towards the back end, it was really scuffed up. And I think had you used the saliva, the element of the reverse swing might have come into play. When you play on surfaces like we've just seen in Pakistan, it is needed.
And when you play on surfaces that offer little to nothing to bowlers, a flat deck for the batters, death overs literally spell death and doom for the fast bowlers.
I'm trying to get my rhythm back and contribute more to the team. There's a load when you are the one main pacer and the other is an all-rounder. I have to shoulder more responsibility and lead from the front.
Of course, for Shami, it's a situation where he's operating as the lead pacer in the absence of a Jasprit Bumrah at the ICC Champions Trophy. The pressure for him to deliver and take wickets is immense. And one of Shami's biggest weapons has, of course, been the reverse swing, an art that has humbled some of the best batters the world over, something that the two-new ball rule has already dampened. While the idea is always to create more balance between bat and ball to witness better contests, the high totals, the big sixes, and the need for those big shots drives more viewership, making this an imperative decision to make. Now, when we see batters having a free rein in terms of the kind of bats to use to suit them, whether it's a shorter handle, thicker edges, lighter or heavier bats, why can't bowlers get back that very slight edge to make things a little more interesting?
Merci beaucoup. Hi, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Namaste, Mr. President.
Bharat ke logon ko meri namaste.
How many people generally follow you in interviews?
Typically, in a month, we have viewers up to 150 million. That's more than twice the population of France. And in the last 2 years, we had 3 billion viewers. So I say, Lohon, this is your chance to be famous. You're on Firstpost. One word to describe your equation with Prime Minister Modi.
Amitié.
As India and France work together, are you creating a new era of non-alignment in the technology space?
India is a training superpower. 1 million engineers a year, more than all of Europe and the US combined. So we have that partnership. We have a partnership on the environment and the economy. We also have civilian nuclear programs, and that is something we've developed far beyond the France-India relationship. So we want to work together on AI.
And then comes China with its DeepSeek, creating models at a fraction of the cost. Did that innovation take you by surprise? Did that breakthrough make you sit up and think, what did the Chinese do and how?
But what did DeepSeek do? They took everything that was already available from the last AI model, and then they recalibrated it.
So are you going to ban Chinese AI in France?
So we don't have this American approach of banning tech because of where it comes from.